I know that taking the character of a human being is it's not something that we should be doing as Christians. But I should say, in complete honesty, my fear of attacking a person's reputation or a person's character does not match my fear of attacking the character of God. But please don't get me wrong. All sins are offensive towards God. And attacking anyone's character is not the vocation to which we are called as Christians. Look at the Yahweh that we have in 2022 and then just ask yourself about the character of God. Is it still the same? Is it still presented to us as it is? Now you can look at the Old Testament, for example. You had Yahweh, the great God, who punished people even with stoning, who punished Egyptians, who punished entire races, including their children. And then in the New Testament, you still have the same character. You still have Jesus Christ, who is holy, who is undefiled, who doesn't compromise his ethics, who obeys God even though it's contrary to his flesh, it's contrary to his needs, it's contrary to the things he wants or his desires. And then after the Old Testament, you just fast forward for a couple of centuries, you get to 2022. We don't have that Yahweh anymore. We don't have the Most High God. We don't have that Elohim who's in the Bible. What's presented before us is either by a preacher on a TV screen or whatever, but what's presented to us doesn't look like the Yahweh in the Bible. It's just a cosmic vending machine. You just have to give him a coin and then he's gonna give you a snack. He's not really concerned about your ethics. He's not concerned about your Christian walk. He's just concerned about your bank account, probably. He's just concerned about your medical status. He's just concerned about your shopping bags. He's just concerned about your groceries. He's not really concerned about holiness. Sunday after Sunday, this idea or this teaching is continually hammered into the heads of Christians. Give God something and then he's gonna bless you. They can say to you, when you pledge, you're gonna receive a blessing. They can say to you, when you give to the church, you're gonna receive a blessing. When you do good to someone, you're gonna receive a blessing. That's why I'm saying that what I see being presented to us in 2022 is a cosmic vending machine. You give him something and then you get something. And that's where I think, ladies and gentlemen, the attack on the character of God, ladies and gentlemen, happens. And these promises that God's gonna bless you after giving something don't come empty. They have a justification, because after all, if you open the Bible, you're speaking as God's mouthpiece. So people are just gonna trust you because you quoted a Bible verse. They can quote Malachi, or they can quote the passage where Jesus said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." And these verses are just extremely taken out of context. They are, because when, for example, when Jesus said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," if you read back, you'll see that he was talking about judgment. So we have no reason to think that he was talking about you giving something and then receiving a blessing from God. If you genuinely pursue the truth, I'll reference you to Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 through to 11. That's where you're going to understand the relationship that permits us to receive anything from God. In Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 to 11, Jesus says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? So just say, I believe in this Bible verse explains a lot about how we receive things from God. What I want you to notice is that we receive things from God based on the relationship that we have with him. In this passage that we have just read, the relationship is that of a father and a son. We receive things from God because he is a father and we are his children. It's not a vending machine that we give and then we get something in return. Consider this hypothetical situation. It's after school and then you go to collect your children at the school and then you notice this young boy who's just crying and then you ask him what's wrong. Why don't you have shoes on your feet? He says to you, my father didn't give me my shoes. He said that I had to offer something first. I had to give something to him first. You're going to instantly think that this is a horrible father. And then what you're going to try to do next is that you'll try to get this to the authorities. You're going to try to report this to the police or social workers or the school's principal. And then you can even think that this such a father is worthy of detention, either in a mental health facility or prison. But all in all, you'll say that this is a very horrible father. And that's why I think the character of God, ladies and gentlemen, is under attack when people say that just like this man who doesn't give his child some school shoes, God too is a horrible father. He does the same thing because he requires his children to pay something in order to receive, of which is not the God of the Bible, because Jesus says, him who asks receives and him who seeks finds.